Good morning and welcome. I thank everyone for coming this morning. My name is Shelby Larsen. I'm a little nervous this morning, so I apologize. I don't do a lot of public speaking, so I talk a lot, but I don't do a lot of public speaking. I am one member on the committee for the Iowa Donor Network Mary Greeley Medical Center Committee. I also co-chaired this wonderful event today that we are celebrating with Jeannie Rogert from the Copy Center. And this idea got started last year when we heard about a competition that was going on amongst hospitals, and the top prize was $1,000. So our committee decided we would throw caution to the wind and we would try and see what we could come up with. So it started with some funny lyrics. Then we found some good singers in the hospital that we roped into joining our group. We bought some face paint and we made a video. So we're going to play that video for you this morning if you haven't seen that video yet.
The sun will come out tomorrow. Get your kidney, pancreas, and your heart. Donate for life. Just thinking about donation. Think about what you can give to others. Donate for life. When your faith is sad, you'll be glad. You can stick out your chin and grin and say, donate. Tomorrow, tomorrow, you'll be thankful. Tomorrow is only a donation away.
The message in our video was very near and dear to many of us, one of which is a very close friend of mine, Jeannie Rogert's. And this idea really was her idea. She has a nephew, Bradley, and in 2007, Bradley was in his freshman year of college, and a group of his friends and himself were out playing football, maybe during an intramural time at school, and the football got stuck up in a tree that morning. And Bradley, being the great guy that he was, said, "Don't worry guys, I'll get the ball." He climbed up in the tree that day to retrieve that ball and fell from that tree and died that morning. Thankfully, Jeannie's nephew Bradley had signed organ donation papers, and several families across the United States and Iowa received Bradley's organs that morning. That was a very difficult time for Jeannie's family and her sister, and we just wanted to do something special and something very important and very close and near and dear to us to honor Bradley. That's where the bake sale idea came from. We've never done a bake sale at Mary Greeley and thought we could give it a shot, and if it doesn't work, we'll try something else next year. And it was over the top of a success that we could have ever imagined. And we are so blessed that today we are able to give Tracy Gibbons is our recipient of our bake sale money. We will be presenting her a check today. I'm not disclosing the amount at this point. It's still a secret until a little later. But if you happen to see Jeannie driving around town at some point, give a wave, give a hello, but I really want you to look down and look at Jeannie's license plate. She has the organ donation license plate on her car, and what it reads is BMJ07. Those are Bradley's initials and the year that he joined heaven. And that's very special to Jeannie. And I would just encourage people to give a wave and just remember what organ donation really is about and how many lives we can save by that organ donation. So thank you once again, everyone, for coming this morning. And now I'm going to hand the mic off to Paul Sodders, and he is going to speak a little bit.
Thank you. Paul Sodders with the Iowa Donor Network, and we are so proud to partner with Mary Greeley in our mission to save lives and enhance lives through organ and tissue donation throughout Iowa. We're celebrating our 20th year this year, and Shelby and Jeannie don't even know this yet, and I don't even know if Meg knows, but we were in the midst of planning this grand 20th anniversary gala. And when we heard about what Mary Greeley was doing for one of our transplant recipients, we switched our thinking. We actually are not going to have a big gala this year to celebrate our 20th anniversary. We're doing a pay it forward year where we're encouraging our employees, our transplant recipients, our donor families from across Iowa to pay it back, pay it forward to folks in their community. We started this year by having a food drive in our offices, and each month throughout this year, we're gonna have a pay it forward idea that our staff and our friends of Iowa Donor Network can carry out. So you really changed our thinking with celebrating how we're celebrating our 20th year. Last year in Iowa, we provided organs to more than 200 grateful recipients, saving their lives, and more than 70,000 tissue recipients are going to benefit from tissue that was donated from Iowa donors. So again, I thank you for coming. This is such a great event. What you do here is life-changing, and the things that Mary Greeley does for the community is just amazing.
Now, our next speaker is Dr. Jacob Alexander. He works over at McFarland Clinic, and I kind of roped him into speaking today. So if everybody would give a round of applause. Tracy would not have got this transplant without Dr. Alexander's help with this. So if everyone would just give a nice warm welcome to Dr. Alexander.
Well, I just want to say thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk today. My name is Jacob Alexander, and I was Tracy's medical kidney doctor over the last couple of years. Tracy, it's always interesting as a physician because you don't remember every single thing about a patient, but you always remember specific moments. And to be honest with you, I still remember the first day I met you. It's one of those things where some things just stay in your mind for years to come. It's always hard when patients get diagnosed with chronic kidney disease because many times you don't get the typical things or symptoms you think of when you have kidney problems. You don't have, a lot of times, a lot of pain or any changes in urine. It's very subtle. It can be just feeling tired. And then a doctor comes in and says, your labs are out of whack. And that can be somewhat overwhelming at times and hard to accept. But I followed Tracy for many years, and she did very well. I can tell you that Tracy's a very courageous person, very strong as she dealt with her kidneys slowly failing. I was always impressed by you, Tracy, in the sense that she kept working full time, and she'd always try and look at other things in life. She adores her nephew, and I'd always hear about she'd try to make it to every single baseball game of his, and that always impressed me. If I can give one medical detail about you, I'd say the timing of this transplant couldn't have been any better. Tracy's kidneys, they kept getting worse, and finally we said, Tracy, we got to start dialysis because you need to stay healthy. Anyhow, we'd set a date and everything was ready to go. Miraculously, the day before she's supposed to start, a kidney came for her, and it's worked out very well, and I'm very happy for you. Just want to tell you congratulations on your kidney and to this award, which I think something that you deserve. Anyhow, that's all. Thank you.
Our last speaker today is Jeannie Rogert, my co-partner on the bake sale committee this year, and she doesn't need an introduction.
As Shelby said, good morning. Where do we start with a thank you? We had the first ever bake sale silent auction, and it couldn't have been more fun and fund-worthy. As I said before, it takes a village to pull off something like this. I can't name all the names, but do you know there's a social worker who baked 16 dozen cutout cookies, frosted them, and brought them? A member of CAS baked dozens of homemade cinnamon rolls. Our chef, who has the initials CV in the back of the room, delighted us with whoopie pies. And my co-chair Shelby did many gallons of Chex Party Mix. Oh, and don't forget that house manager that works 3 10-hour shifts. Man, can she pump out the cookies and then place a big pre-order. Facilities, you can transport about anything. A refrigerator from the laundry to the South Auditorium, and then supply us with extension cords. Dietary can provide you with racks to store the baked goods, get you ice to keep those cream pies cold, and make sure you have coffee and hot chocolate for volunteers and the staff that was working. We had bakers and we had buyers. Some pies, like the coconut cream my boss made, sold before it ever made it to the table. And a volunteer worker took pies right out of the hands of the volunteer she had agreed to work with. So I had a brainstorm. Let's do a Santa surprise bag. Okay, so I cleaned out my closet, a few things out of my Christmas stash, added a gift card, a flamingo, and put it in a bag. Well, our director of environmental services kept bidding on this bag, and was she surprised with what she found. Talk about fun at work, she took it to the next level. She and a coworker took some of the items right back out of the bag, took them to my house, and decorated my front porch. Talk about a good laugh at the end of a very long day. Rod was extremely surprised when he drove in. The silent auction provided much entertainment for our committee. So we have the greatest ICCU director, Amy. She wants the Hawkeye yard sign. She bids. Then her staff decide to get it as a gift for Christmas. Well, Amy keeps bidding. Finally, Margaret Perkle has to say, "Boss, stop bidding. We're going to gift that to you." We're sorry We're sorry Taylor, our ISU volunteer majoring in event management and communications, she was willing to roll up her sleeves and do whatever was asked of her. She did all of our signage, she made spreadsheets, and she's even willing to help us write how to have a really great event at Mary Greeley Manual. Now, if you want to work on an event to make it bigger and better and more successful next year, we're looking for staff to come forward. We guarantee you will work with fun people and the personal rewards will come back 100-fold. This has been my experience since I started working at Mary Greeley 17 years ago. We're a team. Neil Les gave us as much needed support, and we just came together with extraordinary results. Shelby, will you go get the board? It sounds simple, but I thank each of you who helped make giving this check to Tracy so very special. And Bradley, here's to you from Auntie Jeannie.
Tracy, on behalf of the Committee for the Iowa Donor Network at Mary Greeley Medical Center and our bake sale, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get teary. We would like to present you a check for $3,705.50. Once again, as Jeannie said, we could never have done this without the staff at Mary Greeley Medical Center and all the volunteers that we have. And we thank each and every one of you from the bottoms of our hearts for your donations and coming down and buying or any possible thing you had to do with the bake sale. And we look forward to doing that next year again.
Thank you. Would Chris like to say anything? No.
Thank you. There's coffee
Yeah,
there.
there's refreshments over here with some cake and